Last night, friend of the program, family of the program, suffered a torn Achilles tendon on his fourth play as a member of the New York Jets on Monday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills. And now what takes place afterwards is the Jets go on to beat the Buffalo Bills in an overtime classic where a punt gets returned in walk-off fashion. So the Jets fans should be ecstatic. The Jets fans should be elated. The Jets fans should say on September 11th, at home, this team that had a lot of hype around it beat one of the best teams in the AFC, the kings of the AFC over the last few years. They get the big-time dub, and this season is off and running. But instead, Jets fans are feeling the same exact way that Jets fans have felt basically for the last 20 years. I don't want to go back in time too much, but I had a chance to chit-chat with a friend of mine who's a diehard New York Jets fan. He's also like eternally pessimistic as a human being, let alone the fact that he's a Jets fan, which makes him automatically pessimistic. Sure. His name's Michael Cole, okay? Michael Cole is certainly this little rat bastard, okay, is how Vince McMahon described him. To me, he is an idol, a hero, and the greatest wrestling commentator of all time. He's also a suffering Jets fan and a suffering Mets fan and a guy who's been on the road for 25 years and has only missed 2 shows in the entire time. We're talking misery times 1,000. When Aaron Rodgers joins the Jets, his first thought is, we're going to ruin it. This is the Jets. Something's going to go wrong. He's going to get in there. He's going to get into a fight with somebody. Oh, we're doing Hard Knocks. Great. He's going to get so mad about Hard Knocks. One of these coaches is going to be talking about Aaron behind closed doors. Hard Knocks people are going to let it out. Aaron's going to hate him. All of a sudden, we got the Green Bay Packers situation all over again. This is his actual thoughts and statements. So pessimistic that anything great was going to potentially come from the Aaron Rodgers New York Jets franchise just because this is how the Jets have operated for so long. Then, when Aaron Rodgers gets introduced on September 11th, comes jogging out of the tunnel with that American flag. And the place goes absolutely bonkers. You got Jake Paul over there, Aubrey Marcus on the side. You got the ayahuasca boys sitting on the side of this entire thing. Aaron comes out, flag wearing, MetLife Stadium turns into Jet Life Stadium. It's going insane. Get a text from Michael Cole. It goes, it's real. It's actually happening. This is, oh my God, he says. This is the greatest night that Jets fans have had in decades, he said. My dreams and aspirations of winning a Super Bowl could be real here. He's on the field in a Jets uniform. The place is going crazy, and we're on Monday Night Football to kick off the season. About 4 minutes later.
Man.
Fourth play. Now, the first couple plays were not great. He was running for his life then as well. And there's a conversation to be had about the offensive line and Aaron Rodgers with the cut block because the ball has to come out quick, but how Aaron Rodgers plays and what Aaron Rodgers has said about the cut block situation with the offensive line, that's going to become something now because the Athletic reported it. We'll talk to A.Q. Shipley, our offensive lineman, in about 10 minutes to break that whole thing down. But on the fourth play, Aaron Rodgers gets tackled by Leonard Floyd, and he makes a play that is pretty routine, pretty standard sack. Now, it's on turf, which is now becoming a huge part of this conversation because this particular turf has certainly jeopardized careers in the past, and I think they've changed it to make it better, but it's still turf. It's not grass. The players have gotten very loud about why is this not grass, and now the story of the offseason and of the NFL is potentially ruined in part because there's turf there. Are you happy now, owners? Let's put some grass in, is what all players are saying. So we think it's just a little bit of a tweak of an ankle. Has to be. Then the internet, the experts.
That's right. A lot of them.
A lot of experts.
Damn near everybody.
And we've gone through some times here on the internet where people were experts on stonks.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And people were experts on NFTs. And people were experts on crypto. And people were experts on COVID. And people have been experts on everything that has come in. Somehow, the app formerly known as Twitter has the ability to make everybody an expert on everything. But with that being said, if you go ahead and snoop around, you can find the really smart people on X, and their immediate diagnosis was, you see the reverberation on his calf right there?
That's right.
I've seen this 1,000 times. That's an Achilles. That guy just blew his Achilles out right there. Now, he walks off the field. They put him in a boot. He walks in there. They put him in an X-ray, which came back negative, and everybody, I mean, the experts found this out last night. X-rays aren't for tendons. We get it. I've had a bunch, okay? I've had 4 knee surgeries. I think I understand that. But I didn't fully understand why they had him walking on a boot or getting an X-ray. But a lot of smart people on the internet were saying, it's an Achilles. It's like, well, he would just say it's an Achilles because, like, every human that's ever had an Achilles issue has said, oh, I just blew my Achilles. How do you know? Well, I didn't know what it felt like until
now I do.
This is what an Achilles is. So I thought there was still a chance this was a lingering calf issue. Something up in the calf. Maybe he just pulled it. Maybe it'll be a 5-week, 4-week, 6-week type of strain, and he'll be back. I was holding out optimism until Saleh comes up to the thing and goes, yep, popped his Achilles. We're fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, can't say that here on ESPN.
Shoot.
2, 3, 4, 5. That is basically what Saleh said whenever he came up to the podium.
Yeah.
And it was at that moment, I think all of us, I don't want to say or sound too dramatic. I had a tough time sleeping last night.
Oh, yeah.
I had a tough time enjoying that game last night.
For sure.
I had a tough time doing a lot of things last night. And obviously, he's alive and he woke up this morning, he's this and he's that. But for our particular program and for the NFL as a whole, this was the storyline.
Yep.
This was a dream. This was a story that was going to be told for 20, 30, 40 years from now because NFL Films is in there documenting it all. So this was going to be preserved. And then it all just gets David Copperfielded. 4 plays in, just didn't feel right. Now the whole speculation is, will Aaron sign up for the 8 to 12 month rehab of Achilles heel at 38 years of age with only being 4 plays into the New York Jets organization? Will that be enough to tempt him to want to stick around and go through the hell that is a physical therapy rehab session for a surgery of this magnitude at that age? No traveling, no ayahuasca, no darkness retreats. Well, this is a lot of pain and a lot of tough days whenever you're rehabbing something like that. That's conversation that's had by a lot of people. I think what people need to remember is that Aaron Rodgers is one of the most competitive humans on earth.
Yep.
So what I've been told from people close to Aaron Rodgers in his circle, and a lot of people would assume that is me, that is not me, but I am friends with most of the people that are in that circle, and I have a microphone that I speak into for 3 hours every single day, and then 3 hours on Saturday, and then 3 hours on Saturday night sometimes. So I don't want information, and I don't think I would be a person that Aaron would ever say any information from. But what I am hearing from people close to Aaron is he is obviously devastated. This is a very, 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 very bad morning in Aaron Rodgers' world. Aaron Rodgers put everything into this. Aaron Rodgers had a brand new body guru, was in the best shape of his life, energy-wise, felt like he was 25 again, 26 again, had a whole new building to kind of win over and to influence, had a whole new fan base to impress, a whole new season, a whole new potential legacy being written in a new city for a Hall of Fame career that's already been created. He went all in for this. For it all just to disappear before even getting to reap the benefit from that, I personally, and this is with no information from Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he's going to go out like that. Just personally.
No.
I don't. Now, this has been talked about a lot, but he doesn't have kids.
Nope.
Doesn't have a wife.
Nope.
Okay, so you hear a lot of Hall of Famers speak, and they go, I wish I was around more for my kids. I wish I would have been a better husband for my wife, who's normally there. They get a 15-second clap, but it's normally something. And what they're saying there is like the commitment it takes to be in the NFL is a big one. The commitment to be great at anything is a big one. You're going to have to sacrifice some stuff that most basic humans that aren't able to get to that type of thing don't have to sacrifice. So time and empathy and energy and family is normally something that kind of gets put away. Family is normally the driving force for why guys retire. And it's been talked about a long time about Aaron, who's a gypsy. He's a gypsy hippie, he does his thing. They talk about him not having a marriage or kids. I think in this particular case, with how much he invested, with what's going on at home, I think he's coming back. I don't think he goes out like that. He's committed to a couple years to the Jets already. Now, the Packers won't get a number 1 for this particular season. It'll only be a second rounder. Packers don't care, though, because Jordan Love's a guy, right? We beat the worst team in football this past weekend.
Hell yeah.
Let's just keep it moving, the Chicago Bears. So I think we see Aaron Rodgers again, but I think the next 8 months are going to be miserable for him. So let's make sure we send him positive spirits and positive vibes. And congrats to the Jets on still getting a win without their trigger man for 99% of the game last night.
Yep.
The Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Tone Diggs is here. And 9-year NFL vet looking incredibly clean. Yeah. He's not as jocked as he once was, but he's still certainly jocked. Darius J. Butler. D-But, let's dive into it. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, Mount Rushmore quarterback. Lose him for the season on the fourth play stinks. Nathaniel Hackett and he were literally putting that offense together. You know, Zach Wilson had a lot of moxie in preseason. Hopefully he'll be able to find that again as the team rallies around him and behind him. But there's no way, Aaron, goes out like that? Or do you think there's a chance at the age of 39 with a Hall of Fame legacy, he's already wealthy enough, he has business investments, he doesn't have anything to prove to anybody. That could easily be a way to say, hey, the universe was telling me that's all she wrote. What are your early thoughts here, D-Bud, as we're, an hour into him learning it is officially torn as Achilles?
And first and foremost, absolutely gutted for him, to go out like that. Like you said, all the energy, all the lead up, this whole offseason, running out the flag, like it was amazing. But I can't see him going out like that. I heard you mention it early on First Take. Maybe he sees it as a sign from the universe. He wanted to play for one team, but hopefully that's not the case. He does have another year in the contract. And this team, man, you watch that defense play. You obviously know the weapons. Breece Hall coming back, looking amazing. We know who Garrett Wilson is on offense. But his defense, this is Super Bowl level defense. So I would hate to see him not go there and actually have a chance to get out there and play with those guys. But it's tough, though. 39 to rehab.
You got your whole life, too.
Man.
Like, his off seasons have been pretty well documented. Even you go back to the COVID year where he was getting yelled at for not using his plane as an exit vehicle for.
Yeah, that's right. Out of Peru,
He was getting attacked. Oh, this guy won't pay for everybody to hop on it. Like, all right.
In Venezuela.
This dude has been literally exactly.
Yeah.
This guy left people in Venezuela.
There's 10 million people that need his help in Venezuela now.
It's like, all right, dude, okay. He's got a 757. What everything he does and has done has been scrutinized. So if he also potentially thought this is a sign and I'll get away from maybe the public eye for a little bit, cool. But don't you think he enjoyed that New York hospitality?
Yeah.
In that run out, that place was going bananas. Stephen A. Smith said this morning on First Take, it was an honor to be on there, by the way, with Unc. That's the first time me and Unc have ever shared a TV screen or a screen together at all. He is properly jocked.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Properly jocked. But Stephen A. said maybe with everything he experienced at the Rangers, the Knicks, the Broadway, with how everybody's welcomed him with open arms and the pop that he got while he was jogging out, maybe that'll be enough for him to say, I want to come back. And then Stephen A. also said, New York is going to let Aaron know, we will wait for you, is what Stephen A. said New York's going to do. Will that be enough to drive him to want to go through a completely miserable rehab? Can't stress this enough. Rehab is the worst after a surgery. It just gets talked about. Like, this guy tore his ACL. He's going to be out 6 to 7 months. We'll get him back, though. He should be good. This guy, you don't talk about those 6 to 7 months ever. It is terrible. It is no fun. You feel lonely. You're away from the team. You don't really get to do much. And every day you're just trying to teach a part of your body how to do something that is so elementary, and it hurts every single day. And you're just living in like a goal. Like, I hope to one day be healthy again. I hope to one day come back. But there's some days in there where you're like, to hell with it. I don't want to do it anymore. And that's where you need good trainers and good physical therapists, with Aaron certainly will. But do you think the New York pop was enough to also add into his competitive spirit to bring him back? Or what is your early takeaway here, Ty Schmidt?
No, absolutely. I don't think there's any way he's going out like that.
Because you guys ran him out of time.
Well, I didn't run him out of town.
You're an owner.
But I was pounding the table saying, hey, let's keep this guy. But that's neither here nor there. And like D-Butt said, I mean, it's almost shell-shocked. Like this morning waking up, like there's no way he's going to be out for the season. Because part of it, too, is like, even though he's not a Packer anymore, like you just love watching him play football. But I think a lot of people who are saying, hey, he's different, like you can feel the difference in him, the energy, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people just say that. But when we were out with him in Lake Tahoe this year, and granted, I don't claim to know him super well or anything like that, but like that was no bullshit. Like, that energy was very palpable. It's like, oh, okay, this is a different guy than we've seen the last couple years in Green Bay. Like, it feels like he finally feels like he's home, where he may have lost that in Green Bay over the last couple years. And it was like he was so looking forward to this season, best shape of his life, like just everything about it. Like he was just chomping at the bit, to go back to training camp and get everything started. And for things to end that way, I just don't. There's no way, with how competitive he is, that he's going to call it quits after that.
I thought the most interesting thing was after he gets hit, he gets up and he's just standing there and he's just kind of staring around and looking at the sideline and looking around. Like I think he knew at that point, and he was I don't know if he was taking it all in or what he was doing, or just thinking like, how can this happen to me right now, before he sits down. And I think he realized right there. But do we know, like, I know you guys haven't torn your Achilles or whatever. Do you guys know from teammates or anything like that? Is it a worse rehab than other injuries? I know the time frame is a long one.
I just assume it sucks.
Yeah, it has to.
I just assume, because you can't do anything. Like, he was walking on it last night.
Yeah.
On that walking boot, and obviously we've seen others. Kobe goes out,
right,
makes the free throws, goes ahead and leaves and gets it all done. But it's like very abnormal to have any weight on a torn Achilles, because it's the thing that, we all know what it is. I don't want to dive into it as I'm a scientist, but it's a pretty important part of the whole thing.
There.
Yeah.
And his foot was still up.
Right.
And I don't think he was ankle taped. I don't think he tapes his ankles. I don't think. So that's why I didn't think it was his Achilles, just because his foot was up. They had him walk. But the people on the internet, the experts, they knew immediately, because the zoom in on the calf, I guess that thing just ran up there.
Yeah.